Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh, I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh, oh. Make we have fun time.
All right, good evening, all producers, great men of honor. Yeah, I'm coming back. Like the last time I sent a screenshot to the group, I was trying to explain what I did in the mixing, and now I'm back here to actually explain a brief mode of which I used in mixing. And while I'm working, don't mind the vocals, I'm still trying to tune them to get to the actual vocal texture that I'm wanting based on the genre of music that I'm producing. It's a mid-tempo, as you can see, it's on 95 BPM, which is mid-tempo. And if you notice, while I played, my level meter for the input was there about minus 18 dB, which is a nominal vocal level for mixing. In fact, this is what we call the sweet spot. That is where your vocals can be, the level your vocals can be, that will make the plugins be at their best when they are doing their jobs. So let me play it again, and I will show you that my level meter right about here is picking between minus 21 to minus 15, which is we call the sweet spot. So listen again.
Say the very first time, my guy see you see
Now,
my
as you
guy
can see, the
first then.
signal
911
is,
say
as you can see, the signal is just picking at between minus 18 and minus 15 dB of of level input. So we call it the sweet spot. That's where the
say the
compressions and the rest of the plugins do a
very
lot of
first
work.
time, my guy see you see my guy first then.
So let's watch it.
911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh.
All right, as you have seen, the level meter is showing us that the input has a nominal value of minus 18 dB, of which, like I said before, that is where you can get your digital sweet spot, where all these plugins will be at their, nominal level to do a lot of work for you. Now, if you notice, I have two signals coming. Now, this is my track input. For people that asked how I do it, this is my track input, this is my boss. If you notice, I said lead vocal, which means I connected this track input and this track input to this lead vocal, because they are all lead vocals, three verses of a song. And like I said earlier, the way I approach this mixing of a thing, yes, we know that these vocals, they have different vocal frequencies and vocal ranges. So what I did is I have to work on their EQs separately. Like this particular one, I have the EQs already cut out, and manipulated. I have been able to remove the sibilances where they are the bad frequencies. I've cut them out. Then I routed into my compression, my first compressor, which is I'm using a stock plugin, Logic stock plugin compressor, which is very pretty good if you have Logic, if you're using Logic. They have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 different compressors with their characters. We have the Platinum Digital. We have normally Platinum Digital, we call it Bluey in the CLA for people who don't know it. We have the Studio VCA. This red compressor is basically produced by Focusrite. I know a lot of you have not seen or heard about this Focusrite emulation compressor. They're pretty good. Uh, this is our Studio FET. This is the classic VCA, vintage FET. And then we have the vintage Opto, which I normally use, and I love this compressor because of the character it possesses. Okay, now um, if you check my threshold, I try to compress from 0, and I'm going to start all over again to show you what I have done so far. Um, let's put our makeup gain to 0 and our attack to 5 and our release set to 51. So we have our knee. The knee, we call it a knee that shows how the whole compression works out. So let's go back to what we're doing. Now I'm going to play the work, and from a layman's angle and from the life hack of compressions, I need you to understand that this compression will not work until the buttons start moving. That is when you start noticing that compression is going on in your DAW or your plugin. So let's play the songs again and see if it's going to further compress.
Yeah. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya.
Now, as you notice, the button, the compression button, is not even moving. It's not moving, it's not showing any signals. So it means the whole compressor is not doing any job. Now, what do I want it to do? I set my ratio at 3.1. That is the ratio at which my compression would react to any vocal that is coming in, that is either louder or softer. So by the time we start tuning the threshold to let the work, to let the compression start doing its work, I will show you that the button, the compression button, is going to be working right now. So let's play and run our compression.
Yeah. Say the very first time, my
As you
guy
can
see
see, I'm
you see
pushing
my
up.
guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. Say the very first time, my guy
Now
see you
is
see my
coming.
guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh, I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh,
All right, what I just did now was I tried to compress the vocals, leaving a minus 3 dB gain reduction. If you notice the needle was going from 0 to a nominal value of minus 3 dB, which is where I want all my vocals to stand. Now, watch what happens.
yeah. Say the
Let's play again.
very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then.
Now, as we have done this, we have actually lost minus 3 dB of gain reduction in the vocals. Compression further has reduced the volume. So what we do is we make up gain it by the same amount of gain reduction that we've lost, which is minus 3 dB. So we are going to add plus 3 dB back to send back the audio to its nominal value.
Yeah. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh, oh.
All right. Basically we've done the compression, and
Yeah. Say the very first time. very first time.
Now we've done this. As you notice, I made up the gain to plus 3 dB, of which I lost in the gain reduction, and that is how to run the compression. Now, like I said earlier, I'm running a serial compression. I included my CLA two-way. CLA two-way. We are not going to do a lot of compression on the CLA two-way. What we're going to do is to use it to level out or even out other um, lost levels or peaks. We actually use it to tame peaks that are jumping out from the initial compressor, of which we know definitely is going to jump out. So right now, I'm going to compress till I get there about minus 1 dB. So let me put it back to default, default settings. This is a full reset of this 47. So we play.
Yeah. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya,
Now,
aya.
now if you notice, the button is not moving because there are nothing going on the compressor. So what we're going to do is try to tame the compressor once again, but this time around not aggressive but little. So we should be getting like minus 1 dB of gain reduction. That is what we should be expecting. So let's play and turn the dial.
Yeah. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh, I just wanna love you, love you. I don't wanna show emotion. I just wanna kiss and caress, you know. Oh,
Now you notice my needle has started turning to minus 1 dB gain reduction. That is where the compression does its whole work. Now I'm sorry I'm not playing from my actual sound card. You would have heard the clearer version. Don't mind about the laptop fan that is making noise. I don't know why it started making noise. Maybe because of the environment and everything, but it's okay. Okay, back to what I'm doing. My chains. I use the Dieza. I use the Dieza from Era Bundles 6. That's a new Dieza. I just purchased it and it's quite beautiful. It's working very well. So I de-essed as usual and then added my tonal EQ. We call this a tonal EQ. Now I'm going to shape the vocal the way I want it to sound. So let's play and shape.
yeah. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya, aya. Say the very first time, my guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die.
Just
Aya,
attenuated.
aya. I just
Now, what I did here was this is a 2-band frequency PureTech EQP A1, which is an amazing EQ. A 2-band EQ. It has only the low frequency and the high frequency EQs. So now I tweaked my high frequency to 12K, where I should be having a little air on the vocal.
yeah.
Yes,
Say the
as you can
very
see,
first time, my
we
guy
have a
see
lot
you
of
see my
air.
guy first then.
And on the low end, I
911 say
didn't
my
really
neighbor
do
is
any
die.
much work
Aya,
here because I have already
aya.
done the
Say
cutting.
the
So we just
very
leave it
first time,
this
my
way.
guy see you see my guy first then. 911 say my neighbor is die. Aya.
So thank you very much. This is much I can show you now. On my next, I will show you how to parallel compress to an external compressor, of which I've already done all those things. I'll show you what it takes to parallel compress. Thank you very much, my people, my people. I love you so much. Thank you for bringing your heads together to reason And always remember, we talked about collaborating. Let's see how it works. Let's work towards that. 2022 is going to be a very good year for us. And I pray that we should do it well. Thank you very much.